Hi, it's Andy with our Friday preview, and this week we are looking at Romans chapter 11, beginning in verse 11 through 24, and Paul is transitioning here for a bit. He is actually going to be addressing Gentiles, and the message this week is more than a zero-sum game, and I'll get towards that towards the end of the message, but really in some way, shape, or form, it's about immature Christianity. It's about an not so much immature Christianity, but more about a misperception of a person's place or even a group's place within God's framework. And of course, we've seen that from the Jewish perspective for really about 9.5 chapters or so now in Romans. But now Paul is going to shift gears for the latter part of Romans chapter 11, before he then addresses both groups in the final few chapters. So anyway, that is the premise behind this week's. The more than a zero-sum game, if you're not familiar with the zero-sum game, I mean you are, but you might just not have thought about it in that term. A zero-sum game is basically where we know the participants, we know the general rules, we know the goal, and from there, we just have to either be the first to accomplish the goal or to be better than the other participants in finishing the goal. So a race, one wins, others lose. There might be degrees of losing, silver or bronze, but you still didn't win. A baseball or a football game, there are known participants, there are known rules, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. Well, salvation is much more than a zero-sum game. It's not a game at all, but it is much more than a zero-sum game. In fact, we should think of it as an infinite game. So that will be the message this week, and we'll look at a couple of different examples related to World War II and the Holocaust as well within that to try to help us understand this relationship between Gentile and Jew, how it applied in Paul's day, but how it still applies in ours today as well.